What's poppin', yo? I'm here to talk about the buffs and changes for my boy Excadrill that I've made. But before I get into explaining my thought process behind all of the cool new stuff that he has, I want to have a quick disclaimer for new viewers to pause the video and read the description. I've got a bullet point list explaining all of the basics, the background info about the ROM hack, super important stuff. Make sure you give that a read. And when you're done with this video, I recommend you check out, well, first of all, I have tons of other videos for every other Pokemon. But most importantly, there's the move guide. So as you can see on screen, I've got this whole thing going on. Very, very important. Every move in this game is, not every, but the vast majority of moves are heavily reworked in some way or another. So definitely make sure you scroll through this. It's pretty easy to understand because it's all organized into categories. So it's very easy to understand. Yeah, so Excadrill really cool. I made him more physically defensive. I dropped the HP a bit just for BST reasons, but overall he's much physically bulkier and slightly less specially bulky, which I think makes sense for his design, given that he's got like this metal armor. Same for the reason I gave him battle armor. Very cool defensive option to switch to. You can do basic stuff like, iron defense body press, but even just straight up like battle armor when you don't need the sharpness boost or sand rush speed, rounding battle armor is going to be, I would say, an ability you're going to use a lot of the time, because in a nuzlocke context, right, like not being crit is always good, and you're not always going to need the extra damage boost. I mean, obviously a lot of times you will, but you're not always going to need it because it's already a strong Pokemon. And then sand rush is situational, right? You're only using that if you really need the extra speed, and scarf sharpness already outspeeds pretty much everything in the game anyway, so you're only really using sand rush if, number one, there's two reasons you do use sand rush really. Number one is if you already happen to have a Sandmon on your team, then Sand Rush goes crazy, right? You can slap on a boosting item, you can switch your moves and get a bunch of kills really easily. Going through the effort of manual Sandstorm isn't as good as going through the effort of manual manual Rain or Sun, because it doesn't give you a damage boost, so it's like not that good compared to just Scarf Sharpness, right? Like getting a kill, switching out, or whatever. It's not useless, but it's a bit more situational if you don't already have a Sandmon or an explicit reason, like if you want to set up the sand, eject button out into your Excadrill, and then you can set up or just get a bunch of, I would say if you can position to get like 3 or 4 kills, then Sand Rush is definitely worth doing manual Sandstorm. If not, I would say just rock with the other stuff you've got going on. But in general, he's really cool. And then sharpness is super, super dope. So he's got tons of really sick moves now, especially just straight up like drill run and hyper drill being boosted, right? As you can see on screen, there's all these boosted options. Mega Horn being boosted is fucking awesome. Mega Horn is bug type close combat. I love the idea of him just like fucking ramming at you with his, I guess you could call it a horn. Or his little headgear or whatever. You've also got some priority, which is sharpness boosted in the form of aerial ace and a creeping strike. You've also got Accelerock, which isn't boosted but is another priority move. First impression, that's a great sharpness boosted option. And then yeah, Mega Horn is awesome. Smart Strike, that gives you +1 accuracy as well, which is useless. Yeah, there's not a single inaccurate move that they have besides Focus Blast. Yeah, but that doesn't count. Because Stone Edge is 100% accurate now and stuff. But yeah, even Head Smash, all that stuff is accurate. But sharpness is dope, right? You've got your Jagged Edge, Night Slash, Cross Poison, all those moves listed down below. Those are all boosted to 120 power, and then the Hyper Drill, Brutal Blade are boosted to 180 power with sharpness. But keep in mind though, you can't spam Scarf Brutal Blade or Scarf Hyper Drill. You have to switch out after you get 1 kill with it, because it's a no 2 times in a row drawback for all those Wicked Blow type variants. Same with Stone Edge and Temper Flare, but those aren't Sheer Force boosted. Or sorry, Sharpness boosted, excuse me. But yeah, point being, very, very strong moves for the end game, of course, and they'll kill tons of neutral targets because you're just so fucking strong and it's such a high base power move, but you have to switch out after. And then for most of the game, you're going to be rocking, 120 power Drill Run, 120 power Laceration, X Scissors, Shadow Claw, Night Slash, Jagged Edge, Cross Poison, stuff like that, which is all great already, right? And that's 80 power, 120 with sharpness, and then if you slap a scope lens on, you get 180 power with sharpness. Or you could do Sand Rush scope lens and get 120 power and still get the Sand Rush speed boost. So those are all really fun, and I just love the flavor of like Excadrill, Mr. Drill, right? He's got like these fucking giant claws and the big fucking drill head, and he has sharpness boosted, stab, drill run, and laceration, and hyper drill and brutal blade. I think that's fucking awesome. I just love the moves on him, like flavor wise in regards to the ability synergy. I just think it's so cool. I mean, Excadrill's a very like rah type of Pokemon, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I was considering dropping the HP more for a bit more Fizz Def, just to kind of specialize it more, but I think this is a fair stat spread, reasonable like in terms of flavor, and obviously I don't want to go up to 550 for him, so I think 535 is the limit there. If you're new here and you don't know about like my BST thresholds or Did I give the intro in this video? Pretty sure I did, yeah. But yeah, if you don't know about anything about like my BST, arbitrary BST threshold and stuff, you can check that out. Defensive wise, not only do they have like iron defense, body press, and just body battle armor in general, they've also got stuff like set amend, which is pretty great. Set amend is essentially shore up, so it heals you by more in the sand, which is pretty cool. And even without that, it's just good, like recovery, right, with battle armor sets. Another cool thing with battle armor is metal sound. Metal sound will drop special attack and special defense now by -2. It's 100% accurate. And then later on, 10 levels later, you get battle cry, which drops attack and special attack by -2. So both of those great debuffing options with battle armor. You can sit on things. Those both only have like 2 PP each. I believe metal sound only has 1 actually. Battle Cry might only have 1 now. How much did I give it? I nerfed it a lot because it's obviously a very strong debuff option. And yeah, 2 PP. Okay. And I think Metal Sound might only have 1 per... No, 2 as well. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Point being though, so hey, if you really wanted to like stall out special and physical attackers with battle armor, you could run both because you do have the move slots because you have move relearner infinitely, so you can kind of like tailor all your sets. That's the whole point of the game, is to like customize the team of 6 that you have with Teamlocked to, be able to adjust to any situation. You have all sorts of really sick moves. Also, just would be any Terra type would be sick on Excadrill, but I think my personal favorite one to get would be Bug, because you get that stab sharpness mega horn, 120 power bug CC becomes 180 power with sharp. I mean, that's fucking insane, right? So Terra Bug would be really fucking cool, and then you also get stab first impression sharpness, and then before you get mega horn, you get X scissor, and you get creeping strike. So I would love to get Terra Bug personally, and even stuff like U-turn with stab. And also defensively, it's pretty good. For example, you can like bait a fighting move on the AI, Terra Bug, live the move, that kind of thing. Ground as well. Actually, yeah, dude, Terra Bug would be fucking awesome, dude. You resist ground and fighting, 2 of your weaknesses. Neutral to water. You're still weak to fire, but yeah. And obviously, if you're in front of a fire type, you can probably just kill them. So, yeah. Scarf 88 base speed. So I didn't opt to increase their speed. In fact, I was honestly low-key thinking about dropping it just so I can encourage the use of Sand Rush a bit more. But I think this is like fine. Sand Rush still has the benefit of being able to switch moves, unlike Scarf. Scarf means you're gonna have to be pivoting around, which is definitely easy to do, but isn't as easy as like just clicking moves with sand up. So either one is fun offensively. And then yeah, I already covered battle armor and the great defensive utility of that. And yeah, very versatile, fun to use Pokemon. I'd love to have them. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and I'll be back for more coming up. I think I covered pretty much all the important stuff. Obviously, there's other stuff like Headlong Rush and Head Smash, which is great with Sand Rush or with Battle Armor. Headlong Rush is just good for obvious reasons, and then Head Smash is accurate now, 140 power, 50% recoil, so that's really strong. Obviously, like Sharpness Drill Run is as strong as Headlong Rush, but then 5 levels later you get Hyper Drill, which is much stronger with Sharpness than Headlong Rush is. But Headlong Rush can be clicked twice in a row, Hyper Drill can't, so... Yeah, with Sand Rush especially, Headlong Rush would be great. But both of them are great. Honestly, I could probably even, you could argue pushing Headlong earlier, like to 52, and then Brutal Blade to like 57, just to like get a bit more usage out of Headlong. Because Hyper Drill, even with Sand Rush, is still good because you can just switch to another move in the sand because you're so fast. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Thanks for listening, guys. Drop a comment down below if you made it to the end. Oh, also, I forgot to mark Fairy Swipes as sharpness boosted. That's my mistake. Took me 10 minutes to realize that, damn. Yeah, obviously not the greatest thing in terms of sharpness move, but, it could be cool with loaded dice. Night Slash is already there, and same with Shadow Claw, but, situationally, could be good. Also, Drillbur has Hustle. Drillbur's relatively bulky for the early game. It's quick, it's strong, and Hustle is incredible with Stomping Tantrum, which can't miss. There's a whole Hustle guide. I will honestly just pause it and you can read this if you're curious. Because if you're a returning viewer, you already know the drill with Hustle. I don't need to explain it. And most people who made it to the end are probably returning viewers. Let me know if you made it to the end and you're not a returning viewer. And let me know if you made it to the end in general. Also, last thing, Mold Breaker, solid ability for early game. I mean, it's good in general. It's just, the opponent has Sturdy or Multiscale or stuff like that. You can bypass that. It's pretty situational, but could be useful. Levitate once in a while on the AI, although immunity abilities on the AI are not the greatest. At least not like type immunity abilities, because it's pretty easy to play around them. So they're pretty, rare. So yeah, thanks for listening, y'all. Peace.